Many of my favorite RPGs are parts of a larger series of games, such as Fire Emblem or The Witcher. Valkyria Chronicles was the exception to that. Soon, though, that shall change with the release of Valkyria Chronicles 4. I will get the opportunity to play my second game of the series, either on PC or Switch. Haven't decided yet, although I did play the demo on the Switch, because sadly, it did not come to PC. Either way though, I'm quite excited for the September release. Valkyria Chronicles 4, from what I've seen and played so far, seems to be a triumphant revival for a franchise that produced one of my favorite games, but has had a rocky road since then. The Valkyria Chronicles series is a combination of turn-based RPG and third-person shooter games, an innovative combination that fully engaged me as soon as I stepped on the battlefield in the first one. If you want to know more about the general details of the gameplay or about Valkyria Chronicles the First, I recommend my own video, Why You Should Play Valkyria Chronicles. The quick review is that you, the player, command a group of soldiers through 20-something chapters and battles through various environments. You train your soldiers outside of battle and use their combination of skills to defeat any foe you go up against while trying to capture the enemy's bases within a certain number of turns. Both the first game and the fourth game take place during the Second European War, which is very plainly an allegory for World War II. In the first game you fight as Gallia, a neutral nation invaded by the Empire. For Valkyria Chronicles 4 though, you fight as the Federation going up against the Empire. I will note that although the Federation and Gallia may be fighting the same enemy, that does not mean they were allies themselves, at least in the first game. Although the main characters for the fourth game are also from Gallia and are fighting for the Federation, but that's just confusing, so let's ignore it now. All this is combined up into a narrative about some teenagers, or in 4, 20-something-year-olds, fighting through the hell of war and emerging with hope, but losing some soldiers along the way, since permadeath is in the game. There are some fantasy elements as well, with the powerful Valkyrie people and some fantastical racism centered around the Darkson people, another part of the World War II allegory, the racism, not the fantasy. It's been quite a while since Valkyria Chronicles the first game came out, and unfortunately due to several reasons, the second and third games did not get the major release the first one did. The third one wasn't even released in the West at all. One of the main reasons I'm excited then for the fourth game is simply because it is coming to the West on so many platforms. It's hard to miss out on because of lack of platform availability. It's on the PlayStation, it's on the Xbox, it's on computer, and it's on the Switch. If you have a gaming console, you're pretty much covered. Although this sets up the first dilemma to me, should I get it on PC or Switch? I played the demo on Switch, which was mostly smooth, but some lag in handheld mode, which is less than ideal, and I felt I had less precision while aiming. Either way though, I will get to play a new adventure in this world that I was fascinated by in the first game. That's a big reason for my anticipation for the new title. Gameplay is mostly the same, with the same advancement system, same style combat, and only a couple changes. Some of the changes include a new class, the Grenadier, which was a lot of fun to use in the demo, and I'm interested in seeing how the enemy uses them as well. Then there's the new Last Stand system, which I'm not entirely sure I understand yet, but hey, that won't spoil my fun. Probably. If I'm a great commander, I may never even have to deal with it. I'm absolutely going to have to deal with it. Of course, with this new adventure, we have new characters and new scenarios, and each character has unique personality traits that affect their performance on the battlefield. This helps bring greater variety to the game, in addition to all the twists that happen in Valkyria Chronicle missions. That helps introduce variety to a game that is quite similar gameplay-wise to the first one. Not that I have an objection to similar gameplay, when the base for that gameplay was a strategic joyride. I've still yet to see too much when it comes to the actual story of the game. Hopefully it will be as solid as the first, but as of right now, I feel it would be preliminary to even offer thoughts on the story. The characters will be, to me, what makes the story work or not. If I connect with them, the story will work better. So far, 4's characters have been charming and engaging with nice interactions and good dialogue. If the game keeps it up, I will easily establish the connections I think are necessary for effective storytelling. I want to be invested and care about all the soldiers, so that I actually feel bad when I inevitably screw up and get one of my soldiers killed. Visually, 4 has the same sort of watercolor art that looked beautiful in the first game, and it only seems to have been improved upon. I'm also glad that the environment is snowy rather than repeating the same environments from the first game, although I do hope there's also a variety with some forest, city, or even plains maps included among all the snow and ice. Although the beginning does not take place in the snow. The environment is still gorgeous though, and as Operation Northern Cross continues, I'm sure the snow and ice will come with it. Musically, I have a lot of faith from what I've heard that we'll get a beautiful encore on that front, especially since it is the same person doing the music as the person who did it in the first game. Those who want something vastly different in the 4th game may be in for a disappointment, but for me, a game with definite changes in certain areas while retaining much of the charm that made the original amazing is exactly what I want. If you have a solid gameplay model like Valkyria Chronicles does, you work within the system created. Don't try and overhaul it just for the sake of change. Valkyria Revolution. That seems to be the approach Sega went with in 4, and it is certainly welcome to me. Valkyria Chronicles 4, from what I've played, returns the brilliant strategic battle system, the lovely environments and music, and the fun characters to bring a long-awaited repeat of the Valkyria Chronicles experience. I'm certainly looking forward to playing the rest of it in the not-too-distant future. The wait is almost over, but in the meantime, stay tuned to this channel by hitting the subscribe button, liking the video, and commenting below, because that does help a lot. Have a great day, and happy gaming.